Hi, thanks for stopping by. Today I've actually already done a drawing, but the audio on it was so bad that it wasn't even usable anymore, even with a audio filter on it. So here we go again. Not that you know that. It's your first time with this. But anyway, I wanted to try something different. Same, but different. Instead of doing a colouring in today, I felt like doing a drawing. And Kmart have just dropped these cute little diaries, the 365 diaries. They were like $7, so reasonably priced. And it's super cute. Like, the book edges are all pink, and the lacquer is pink. And we love pink. And the green. And I love that retro. I love all the retro in Kmart actually at the moment, so good job, Kmart. So anyway, this morning I already did one of my doodle heads because this diary from Kmart is completely blank and it's just got your 365 numbers going through it, and you end up with a couple of extra pages here. But unfortunately, the first page is attached to that front cover thingy. I can't remember what the technical name for that thing is, but anyway, it's attached to that page, which makes it go a little bit widgy, but let's just deal. But I thought it was about time that I started doing my daily doodle heads again. I probably won't do them daily. I'll just sit down and draw whenever I feel like sitting down and drawing. But it's off the back of the daily doodle heads that I started actually doing last year. So about 18 months ago, I stopped actually drawing. But last year I was doing in this little diary that I got again from Kmart. It was super cheap. These daily doodle head drawings. They're literally just floating heads with whatever I felt like drawing on top of them. I was experimenting with this like multicolored pencil, but yeah, that turned out so well, didn't it? But anyway, yeah, I got through to about, I don't know, April something. I can't remember. Where's April? There we go. Oh, look at that. I sketched a few outlines ready to go, but that's it. April 5th, April 3rd, April 4th, we got the start of a head, but no. But basically, April 3rd was the last time I actually did a proper drawing. And I was trying to keep up with them each and every day, do a simple drawing. I mean, like, they're not exceptionally technical. They're just simple cartoon heads, like literal heads. So the Saturday and Sunday, I hate it when they do that, they split, because I have a lot of things going on Saturday. We need bigger Saturdays and Sundays. Oh well. So doing the smaller ones on the weekends was a bit of a pain in the ass, but you know, whatever. So I thought, because you can't use fine liner on this type of paper, it's way too thin. So I was using a black ballpoint pen, and that just doesn't look attractive either. But I ended up colouring them in at one stage because I was getting bored. Instead of drawing, I'd colour them in. But what I dragged this old diary out for, was to show you these pages that I was doing. And I was using my blending stumps. So instead of colouring, I was using the graphite to actually create the dimension and the contrast and the shadows and whatever else, and then using a kneadable eraser or a normal plastic eraser to create my highlights. And these all started just out of, like, you know, sheer boredom. But then I got into digitizing them in Procreate on my iPad, and I've turned a couple of them into colouring books. So it's probably about, you can get it away because you're too high. So this is basically January, 31 days. So you get 31 days of doodle heads. But then for each doodle head, I was also using the mandala thingy in Procreate, and you get a mandala that matches each one of the doodle heads. I mean, my drawings are nothing special, I swear to God. But it was super fun, and that's all that matters. I mean, I've even done, like, I've coloured a few. I think that was using brute Feelin pencils. And then, so the mandala that then goes with it, which is quite a lot. So if you like really intricate mandalas, there you go. That one, that was using Prismacolors. They go a bit weird. I don't know. There's your mandala that goes with it. And then I started another one. Can't remember what I was using there, but it was just like so bad. It wasn't blending. And it's, I don't know, this paper's just bizarre. Maybe I'm just using the wrong media for it. But yeah, so you get a mandala with each head. So if there's 31 days in the month, then you get 64 drawings, basically, all hand-drawn. And it's like that ugly thing here. And I've got her... there. Can you see that? So that's the original drawing, and that's the digitized one. And that's all of January in this book. And then I did end up finishing a second one. And this is all of February. And last year there was 29 days to February. And so you get, what's that, 58 drawings. So you get your doodle head. And then your mandala that comes with it to match. I'm halfway through digitising March and April's of where I got up into the diary. So there might be volumes 3 and 4 coming out. But yeah, the Daily Doodle Heads colouring book. So literally from Fat Mama Bliss. There you go. I did it. So there is a link to this colouring book, or both of them actually, in... I think it's in the profile on my, I don't know. I'll put it in the description down below anyway, because I don't know where I've put it. But yeah, so these are all the ones from February. That's the front cover. I love that one. That's my favourite. So that's her there as a drawing. And then that's her mandala that matches. So if you like colouring in faces, then you're going to have a lot of faces to colour in. If you like colouring in florals, then you've got a lot of florals and weird things to colour in. And if she's so cute. If you like mandalas, I mean, like, holy snap, look at that. You will be there for days. Well, maybe not, but close to it. But yeah, so she matches all the elements out of her hair. It's a bizarre drawing. I think I was thinking curly 80s hairdo. I went through a hairdo stage. So, yeah. So, I mean, nice fine lines. I actually might do in future books that I might bring out is bring them out in a finer, not fine, but a lighter, like pale grey line work. So then you don't have to try and cover it as much, because I know a lot of us colourists do that, getting out the white gel pens or gouache or whatever you're using to try and cover up the lines. So if it was in a pale grey, then I wouldn't have to drag in so much ink or whatever if you don't want to, if you don't have it or whatever. So yeah, they are really, really weird drawings. But it was fun, and they're fun to colour in. So I haven't coloured that one in yet. But anyway, so this book, I'm going to start... See, there she is. Isn't that cute? I'm going to start doing the Daily Doodle Heads again. So to get my doodle heads drawn, I use some cheap old pencils from Kmart. It's just their sketching set. I don't know how much these were. They were a gift from one of my kids for like Christmas or birthday or whatever. They go from 5H all the way up to 6B. And quilting, I personally like to use the B and the H. H is nice and soft to do all my soft gentle outlines kind of thing, and then the B gives me the nice darker lines that then I can go through and smudge around with one of my paper smudgy tool thingies. What are these called? Stumps. So I use the stump to then create contrasting thingies. You know what I'm trying to say. I don't know what I'm trying to say. And then to do the eyelashes, because I can't get the nice fine point like you can on a mechanical pencil, the mechanical pencil helps me do things like eyelashes or, you know, some finer detail in these little bits and pieces. So, yeah. Oh, and then every now and then, if I get excited, I might use my kneadable eraser. I have an old one, that's why this one's new and opened, but I haven't used it yet, clearly. So, yes, that'll be there if I need it, or just a normal plastic eraser, always handy. And paper clip, because pages annoy me. So, anyway, oh, and my big old tub of washi tapes. Excuse me. So, yeah, I might just random pick, and I just thought it might just look nice with a little frame around each one. Thought that might be cute. So I'll go and pick another washi tape, and I'm going to tape off this area because we're up to day 2/1 because of audio, and we'll get into it. Okay, I got my washi. Cute little Australian print that, again, Kmart. Oh, who doesn't love Kmart? Kmart brought out, I think it was probably last year when I was doing the diary. We got some gum leaves, wattles, and I have no idea what that is. Benchia? No. Anyway, if you are into Australian florals, you'd know what they are, and I have no clue. You can let us know in the comments down below, because it's going to make my brain itch if I don't find out what it is. So anyway, I'm going to pop you into time lapse, and I'm going to just tape up this page, okay, quickly. Okay, unfortunately, that is as far as my thingy will... Oh no, we can zoom in a bit more. What do you reckon? That looks a bit cute, doesn't it? Yeah. I'm going to turn it on its side because that is most comfortable for me, especially being on the left side of the book. So I'm going to walk you through with how I do a doodle head. Starting with my H pencil, and I'm just going to do a simple oval. I might start down a bit lower since I didn't on the other one. Still need more warm up, obviously, don't I? Can't even draw an oval. Just get rid of some of those lines. Alright, so how I used to do them was line through the centre, line through the centre, eye centre, another eye centre, like 1/3, 1/3, roughly. Okay, a little circle for the nose, a little button. Hang on, let's zoom in a bit more. How's that? Okay, button there, and then we got 2 little circles next to it for the lips. Circle, circle, jelly bean. Alright, pupils. It's roughly same distance. I don't know. So this will be the coloured part. What's that? The iris. Try and get them about the same size. That would be handy. Alright, so nose. So that's about even, yeah. Alright. Okay. Bit of an arch. And then again, a bit of an arch. Little, like it's only not even coming. They're not even, but my care factor's not there. And then from just inside where that point is, just inside, you leave a little bit of a tail and we'll come around. There's a bit of a circle bit. And then we come down a bit. And then on this little tail thingy, you have this little wiggly line, and that's that tear duct area. I don't know what the name of it is. Let me know in the comments. You guys will probably know. Okay. Iris is done. They're not even in shape, but oh well. Pupil, I usually just do like a C shape, because then it reflects where my highlights might be. And then for the eyelid crease, up a little bit, and then follow out to the side of the eye, up on an angle, out to the side of the eye. And I hate eyebrows. I suck at eyebrows. But basically, how I do my sucky eyebrows is up from roughly the tear duct area. And then if you look at how people do their makeup and the contours of their face and stuff, it will come out like as a rounded shape. I don't know, I was looking at pictures the other day, look, even on this, look, see, it comes out, and you can't see that side, but as a rounded shape, and that's where the eyebrow basically sort of ends. So, I don't know, I hate eyebrows. Usually I'll try and cover them up with like a big flower or moffat or something, so I don't have to. So here we'll just do a little bit of a woot, and then a concave kind of curve, and again got a little dimples at the end. And then from this, follow the curve of the two little circles, and it falls downwards again, like an inwards curve. I'll clean this up and make it sort of at least even in a sec. And from that one, if you do want lips, it's an outwards curve, so it comes around outwards, not inwards. And again, outwards. We'll just leave that there. Eyelashes I'll put in probably at the very end. So yes, on there, like with the nose, follow where the two circles meet, follow that around, follow that halfway around, and then just draw again another little concave line underneath, because then that just helps the nostrils stand out. And then when we go erase all the outline guide marks and lines and bits, that'll make more sense. So yes, from here, generally from here is where I'll start plotting in where I want my elements and stuff like that. So I might have a big old flower up here, might do a couple of little ones down here, and it's easier going over the shape of the head with your elements, because then you don't have to draw ears, because ears are like drawing hands. They're nearly impossible. Alright. Zoom out. Alright, cool. We can still go. Might have another couple of little, I don't know, let's do one here, one here, and a small one there. I don't know. Let's do a couple of little ones. These are not going to be bubbles. These are just literally outlines for where I'm going to put my elements, like a flower or something. And then I might do a nice big one coming out of the side of her head like that, because it's behind. Alright, now we're going to have to do an ear, because it's behind her ear. To the nose. There's some kind of Y shape. I don't know. I suck at drawing ears. There you go, that'll do. That flower can cover it up. And then amongst all these little flowers, I might put in like leaves or something. I don't know. Wherever a leaf might need to go. And sometimes I might throw in some floaty outy elements, like grasses or a tall weird mushroom thing, or I don't know, whatever takes my fancy. And just make it up as you go along. Might need something height over this side to, I don't know, balance it out, or in through here. Okay, so using still with my H pencil, I might draw in some of the elements. I don't know what kind of flowers I want to do yet. I'm thinking I might want those as some big palm trees, leaves kind of, looks like a feather, like a bird feather, but okay. She has feathers in her cap. Cute. Let's put in their centres, because they're up there in front. That looks bizarre, doesn't it? Okay, we need to start drawing in some petals, because that just looks weird. She has boobs on her head. Let's go. Let's do some spiky petals. Cute. Okay, spiky petals. Cool. These little ones can be not boobs. We'll just do some simple round petals. Oh, okay, that's not even. Oh well. Um, Okay, let's do a simple daisy shape for this one. Okay. this big one, I might have the centre a little bit more in that way. So we have our petals sort of coming out. I don't know what I'm doing. Alright, basically. Okay, put in some stamens. There we go, how's that? Is that cute? Let's do some little ones. Just do again a set of boobs. Let's do like a leaf shape. Let's draw something that looks similar, but not as similar to a magnolia, maybe. My skills, again, I haven't drawn for 18 months, so sort of rounded. That's not a magnolia looking thing. It's one of those things. I'll put some cute little centre stamen thingies in. There we go. Cute. Awesome. And we're definitely going to need some leaves. I don't know what I'm doing there. I need a leaf, I think, in here. And maybe another leaf up here. I think we need actually a bigger leaf in here. There we go. That'll do. Okay, so before I get in and start shading and messing around with the picture and stuff, I'm just going to erase some of the guidelines because they are not needed. Because I didn't press too hard, it should be easy. Okay. Yes. Gee, excuse. Oh, excuse me. Alrighty. Yeah, okay. I'm ready to sort of start smudging things around. Alrighty, I'm ready to put in the darker pencil, graphite. Just flip it around. What? Oh, it's getting a bit closer. Cool. If you hear that annoying noise in the background, that's just my little fan heater because it's gotten a bit cold now that it's night time. I had to go pick up children from work and make dinner and, you know, domesticated, boring stuff like that. So, okay, I'm going to go in with my B pencil and I'm just going to go over the areas that I need a bit darker. Not all of it does. But definitely in the eye line there, like the upper lash line. A little bit in here. The other one. Up in the nostrils. Okay, under the lips. Just the chin, well, bottom lip, but I'll be using it to smudge it out a bit. Again, because I hate drawing eyebrows, they're just going to be basically cartoons, eyebrows. A little under the chin. Okay. Definitely in the ear. Okay, I'll go into the am I? Whoops, I'm not. Not worried about those stamens just yet. I'll just get this, and I can do the stamens with the mechanical pencil after I've finished. It's a pretty sad looking little flower, isn't it? Not even on screen. What am I doing? Basically, where I'm putting all my little dark graphite lines, you'll see that I'm not doing the whole image of the flower, like all the lines that I just sort of scribbled in. I'm just putting them where I know that the darker areas, like that cast shadow or a darker underneath, dark edge will be. Because then when I go back in with my mechanical pencil, then I can bring out all the details because if I put the details in now, then they're just going to get rubbed out with the paper stump. So that would be sort of a waste of effort. I can't remember where I've done. Okay, it's a 4-petal one now. No, go back to 5. Oh well. I have no clue what I'm doing there, obviously. An eraser will fix that. Oh, bit of a brain fart, what direction I needed to go in then. Oh, okay. I actually have quite a big chunky. It's coming out of somewhere. Who knows? I do them also jagged, and those little jaggedy bits can create the veins. So if you've ever used a paper stump before, then you probably bought it in a pack and it came with something like this, these sandpaper sheets. If not, you can buy them from art stores or wherever. Just go to Bunnings and get yourself some sandpaper. Doesn't have to be really fully textured either, like low grit, high grit, whichever way sandpaper goes. I can't remember which way. I can't see a number on the back of that. But anyway, this paper stump has gone really blunt and it's quite stained from last time I used it. So all you do, see it coming off on the sandpaper, just wipe it around a bit. You'll get to a nice point again and it cleans it, see, before. And these papers honestly do last for ages. And after that's the same, all of them. Like even these weird tortilla ones, you can, oh, that makes my teeth curl, gross. Just take off all the staining. Good to go. What I'll do is half the face and maybe a couple of these little Moffat thingies that I've put in, the flowers and leaves and stuff, but then I'll pop you over into time lapse because I don't need to explain the whole way through because it's the same for the other half of the face. You know how it goes. So yeah, I'm just going to start with either end. It doesn't matter, they're both the same. And I'm just going to start grabbing some of that graphite that I had put down, and you'll see it starting to smudge out, but since this one's now nice and clean, there's not a lot going on just yet. See, and it starts smudging it out like a smoky eyeshadow. Hang on, let's bring you in. Oh, that's probably a bit far, isn't it? Okay, I'm good with that. See, and the more you rub, the darker it gets. These thinner ones are good for all these little places, but they do bend to be a little bit heavy-handed. Don't forget your highlights. Our eyes naturally shadow at the top. And then with the graphite that we put underneath, we can just bring it down and fill in the rest of the eye. Once your paper stump has picked up enough graphite, then you can actually start using it in places where you didn't even actually put any. I'm not at that point yet because I cleaned it off. Like on the nose here, I didn't want two definite lines down for the bridge of the nose, so when I've got enough graphite on here, I can start bringing it in and drawing it in place for where I want the nose shape to be. Cool, makes sense. There'll be a little bit of shadow around the nose, under the nose, Cupid's bow. Yeah, I'm picking up more graphite now. Under the lip, top lip. It'll be shadowing down onto the bottom lip. Give it a little bit of depth there. And it will shadow definitely under the bottom lip. You can smudge that line out a bit, even though it was the wrong shape, but it doesn't matter. Cool. Oh, I got there. Still in frame. Cool. Alright, around these flowers and everything, there's definitely going to be like a cast shadow. Oh, I forgot those leaves. Oh well. And then through the flowers, let's go into this one here. Depending on which petal is on top, is to which side we're going to put the shadow on. So this petal is on top, this one's underneath. I'm just going to smooth that out from this side and making the centre darker while we're at it, because it will be going into the flower, so it will be going in. This petal again is on top of this one, so we'll shadow to this side, like smudge it out. The centre of that one will be a little shadowed, not as much as this one. Same as this one, it's only a little bit because it's on top, so it's obviously getting more light. I haven't actually set a light source. I'm just putting in contours and shadows, and you can pick a light source if you like from wherever. This petal is on top, so this one gets more shadow. But then this side is on top of that one, so need this side darker than that side. It's a bit like colouring in, really, but you just, instead of adding colour, you're using the colour you've got, and you're just sort of blending it out. Pushing it around. See how my details disappear? But that's okay. Okay, so I've grabbed out a 4B. So this is just to help me darken up some areas, particularly like the pupil, whatever. But yeah, you'll see me probably throw down a little bit more graphite and smudge it out even more. All right, into time lapse now. I'll see you at the end. I'm just going to swap out my little paper stub from this one that I was using before to this one. It's about the same size, but it's got more of a point on it ready for me. So I'm just going to use this one now. Okay, I might go through now, can't see, with my mechanical pencil and put in things like eyelashes and define some of these elements here. And then after that, I'll go through with my kneadable eraser and bring out more of the highlights where, like, you know, my hand is smudged across it or anything like that. And then it should be almost done. All right, I'll pop you back in time lapse because seriously, you can just watch along as I'm just drawing in eyelashes and putting the stamens and stuff like that back in to these shapes here. All right, I'll see you when I finish that. All right, I'm going to start in with my kneadable razor, but I don't need to use all of it at once because it's a pain in the ass to start off. It gets really tough when you're full of arthritis. It's not fun. All right, It's like playing with blue tack if you've never had a kneadable eraser before. They are good. They're not necessary. Like, they're just really handy, and once you have one, you use it more than what you think you would. Alright, so in the highlight areas, I'm just going to clean up where I might have smudged. Clean up the highlights. Brighten up the petals a little bit where we didn't need. I might just take out some of these guidelines. The leaves that I didn't end up using, might need the other rubber for that. Okay. Okay, there you go. All done. What do you reckon? Pretty cute. Not bad for a little while's bit of work. I don't know how long it took me. I wasn't timing it. Alright, cool. Well, thank you very much for watching and sticking with me while I get back into drawing. My next video probably will be a colouring in. I might even do a colouring out of my doodle-head colouring books. I will, again, just remind you, link the colouring books down below in the description. Just like to say thank you to everybody that has subscribed. And if you did like this, and if you'd like to see more drawing, then hit that like button and subscribe as well. Just so until next time, thanks, and I'll see you then. Bye.